The transport ship landed hard on the ground. Taiho felt the impact in his bones. His left leg hurt. His ribs hurt. Everything hurt. But he was alive, and that was more than many soldiers could say. He grabbed his bag and walked down the ramp into the gray light of Valora. The planet was not beautiful. The sky was always cloudy. The buildings were old and dirty. But it was safe. That was what mattered. Taiho had been a soldier for 9 years. He had fought on 12 different worlds. He had watched friends die. He had killed enemies. He had done things that still visited him in his dreams. Now, he was here for medical leave. The doctor said he needed 3 months to heal. 3 months away from the war. He did not know what to do with 3 months. A tired woman at the housing office gave him a key card and an address. She did not look at his face. She had seen too many soldiers like him. "It's Building 14, Unit 7, she said. "Food rations will be delivered every week. Do not cause trouble." Taiho nodded and walked out. The refugee district was crowded. Aliens of many species walked the streets. Some were missing limbs. Some carried children. All of them had the same look in their eyes. It was the look of people who had lost everything. Taiho understood that look. He saw it in the mirror sometimes. Building 14 was a tall gray structure with cracked walls. The elevator did not work. Taiho climbed 7 floors with his bad leg, screaming at every step. By the time he reached Unit 7, he was breathing hard and sweating. He pressed the key card to the door. It opened. The unit was small. 1 main room with a tiny kitchen, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. The furniture was old, but clean. A window looked out at other gray buildings. Taiho dropped his bag and sat on the couch. He closed his eyes. Then he heard a sound. It came from one of the bedrooms. A soft sound, like someone trying very hard not to make noise. Taiho's hand moved to his belt. His weapon was not there. They had taken it at the checkpoint. He was unarmed. He stood up slowly. His training took over. He moved toward the bedroom door without making a sound. He pushed it open. A girl stood against the far wall. She was not human. Her skin was pale blue, like the color of ice. Her eyes were large and silver with no whites. Her hair was long and white, falling past her shoulders. She was thin, too thin. She wore simple gray clothes that hung loose on her body. She was shaking. Taiho raised his hands to show they were empty. "I am not going to hurt you," he said. The girl did not move. Her silver eyes watched him like he was a predator. "I was assigned this unit," Taiho said. "I think there has been a mistake." The girl said nothing. Taiho stepped back. He pulled out his key card and showed it to her. "See, Unit 7. They gave me this key. Still nothing." Taiho sighed. He was too tired for this. His leg hurt. His head hurt. He just wanted to sleep. "Okay," he said. "I will go back to the housing office. I will fix this." He turned and walked out. The trip down 7 floors was harder than the trip up. By the time he reached the housing office, his leg was shaking. The same tired woman looked at him. "What?" "There is someone in my unit," Taiho said. "An alien girl. Blue skin, silver eyes." The woman typed on her computer. She frowned. "Ilari female. She was assigned that unit 2 weeks ago. Then why was I also assigned there?" The woman shrugged. "We have too many refugees and not enough housing. You will have to share." Taiho could not believe it. "I am a soldier on medical leave. You need what everyone needs," the woman said. Her voice was hard. "A roof. A bed. Food. You have all of those? The Ilari girl has nowhere else to go. Her entire species is almost extinct. Be grateful you still have a homeworld to return to." Taiho stood there. He wanted to argue. But the woman was right. He had seen the Ilari refugees before. There were very few of them left. The Dominion had destroyed their world 3 years ago. Not for war. Just for the minerals under the surface. They had killed billions of people for rocks. "Fine," he said quietly. "I will share." Climbed the 7 floors again. His leg felt like fire. When he entered the unit, the girl was standing in the main room. She had not moved far from her bedroom door. The housing office says we have to share, Taiho said. I will take the other bedroom. I will not bother you. The girl watched him. She did not speak. Taiho picked up his bag and walked to the second bedroom. It was small, just a bed and a small table, but it was enough. He lay down on the bed and stared at the ceiling. In the other room, he heard nothing. The girl was silent. Like a ghost, the first week was strange. Taiho and the girl did not speak. They moved around each other like shadows. She stayed in her room most of the time. When she came out, she moved quickly and quietly. She never looked at him directly. Taiho learned her name from the housing files. Yuna. Just Yuna. No family name. The Ilari did not use family names. He noticed things about her. She did not eat the ration packs. He saw them piling up in the kitchen, untouched. At first he thought she was not hungry. Then he realized the truth. Ilari could not digest human food. He asked at the market. The traders shook their heads. Ilari food was rare, expensive. Most refugees could not afford it. Taiho looked at his pain medication. The doctors had given him plenty. He did not like taking it anyway. It made his head foggy. He found a trader who would exchange the medication for Ilari food packs. The trade was illegal. Taiho did not care. That night, he left 3 food packs outside Yuna's door. He did not knock. He did not say anything. He just went to his room and closed the door. In the morning, the packs were gone. Taiho did not mention it. Neither did Yuna, but that evening when he came out of his room, he found a small paper star on the kitchen table. It was folded with perfect care. The paper was blue. He picked it up and looked at it for a long time. Then he put it in his pocket and kept it there. It was the beginning of something. Neither of them knew it yet. But in a universe full of war and death, 2 broken people had found the same small shelter. And sometimes, that was enough. 3 weeks passed. The silence between Taiho and Yuna became less heavy. She still did not speak much. But she stopped hiding when he entered her room. She stopped flinching when he walked past her. Small changes. But Taiho noticed them. His leg was healing. The doctor said he was doing well. He could walk without pain now. He could climb the 7 floors without stopping to rest. His body was getting stronger. His mind was another matter. The nightmares came every night. He saw the faces of dead friends. He heard the sounds of battle. He woke up sweating, his heart beating fast. Sometimes he sat in the dark until morning came. One night, he woke up to find Yuna standing in the main room. She was looking out the window at the dark city. Her silver eyes reflected the distant lights. Taiho stood in his doorway and watched her. She knew he was there, but she did not turn around. I cannot sleep either, she said. Her voice was soft. It was the first time she had spoken to him in days. Bad dreams? Taiho asked. Memories, she said. My world burning. My family running. The ships in the sky that would not stop firing. Taiho walked over and stood beside her. Not too close. He had learned that she did not like people too close. I am sorry, he said. Why? She asked. You did not destroy my world. I am still sorry it happened. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, that is a strange thing. To be sorry for something you did not do, maybe Taiho said. But someone should be sorry. The ones who did it will never say sorry. So I will say it for them. Yuna turned to look at him. Her silver eyes studied his face. He did not know what she was looking for, but she seemed to find something. Thank you, she said. For the food, I never said thank you. You do not have to. I want to. She paused. Why did you do it? You do not know me. I am nothing to you. Taiho thought about the question. He had asked himself the same thing. Why did he trade his medicine for food? Why did he help a stranger? Because you needed it, he said finally. That is reason enough. Yuna was quiet for a long time. Then she went back to her room. But before she closed the door, she looked at him one more time. You are not like other soldiers I have met, she said. She closed the door. Taiho stood alone in the dark. He did not know if her words were good or bad, but they stayed with him. The next day, Yuna told him about her life before the war. She had been a scholar on her world, a keeper of stories and songs. Her people believed that memories were sacred. As long as someone remembered, the past was never truly gone. She showed him the data crystals she had saved. 12 small crystals. All that remained of a civilization that had existed for 10,000 years. Songs, she said, holding one crystal. Stories. Images of places that no longer exist. The faces of people who are all dead now. You saved these? Taiho asked. I ran with them in my hands while my city burned. Her voice was flat. No emotion. Like she had told this story too many times. I did not save my mother. I did not save my sister. But I saved these. She put the crystal down. Her hands were shaking. I am the last librarian of a burned library, she said. Taiho did not know what to say. He was a soldier. He knew how to fight. He did not know how to comfort someone who had lost everything, so he did something simple. He picked up one of the crystals and asked, "Will you show me?" Yuna looked surprised. No one had asked her that before. The other refugees did not care about old songs and dead stories. They were too busy surviving. She took the crystal and put it in a small device. Music filled the room. Strange music. Sounds that Taiho had never heard before. But it was beautiful. Sad and beautiful. Hey, this is a lullaby, Yuna said. Mothers sang it to children. My mother sang it to me. They sat together and listened. Yuna did not cry. Her face was still. But Taiho saw the pain in her silver eyes. When the song ended, he said, "Thank you for sharing this with me." Yuna looked at him. For a moment, something soft appeared in her eyes. Then it was gone. From that day on, things changed between them. Yuna began to talk more. Not much, but enough. She told him about her world. The twin moons that rose every night. The forests that glowed with natural light. The festivals where everyone sang until dawn. Taiho listened to everything. He asked questions. He tried to remember the details. He also helped her in small ways. The heating unit in her room was broken. The landlord ignored her requests to fix it. So Taiho fixed it himself. He was not an engineer, but soldiers learned to repair things. Yuna watched him work. You did not have to do this, she said. No, he said. But your room is cold. You should not be cold. Another time, Taiho walked with her to the market. Some aliens in the district did not like the Alari. They said cruel things. They pushed and shoved. Yuna usually went to the market alone and came back with bruises she did not explain. When Taiho walked beside her, no one said anything. No one pushed. They saw his military tattoo. They saw the way he walked. They knew what he was. They are afraid of you, Yuna said. Good, Taiho said. Let them be afraid. One night, everything changed. Taiho was sleeping when he heard the explosions. He was on his feet before he was fully awake. His body moved on instinct. He grabbed a knife from the kitchen and ran to Yuna's door. She was already awake. Her silver eyes were wide with fear. Raiders, Taiho said. Dominion raiders. Stay behind me, he heard screaming outside. Gunfire, the sounds of battle. This was not supposed to happen. Valora was neutral territory, but the Dominion did not care about rules. Taiho moved to the door of the unit. His heart was calm. This was what he knew. This was what he was trained for. Hide in your room, he told Yuna. Lock the door. Do not come out. No, she said. He turned to look at her. She was shaking, but she did not move. I hid before, she said. I hid while my family died. I will not hide again, Taiho wanted to argue. But there was no time. He heard footsteps in the hallway. Heavy footsteps. Getting closer, the door exploded inward. A Dominion soldier stood there, big, armed. His weapon pointed at Taiho. Taiho moved faster than thought. He grabbed the weapon and pushed it aside. The shot went into the wall. He drove his knife into the soldier's neck. The soldier fell. Another soldier appeared. Taiho grabbed the fallen weapon and fired. The second soldier dropped. He heard a child screaming somewhere in the building. He ran toward the sound. A Dominion soldier was dragging a small girl from her home. The girl's mother was on the ground, not moving. Tai-Ho shot the soldier. He grabbed the child and pushed her back into the apartment. "Stay there," he said. "Do not move." He fought for what felt like hours. It was probably only minutes. By the time Terran's security forces arrived, Tai-Ho had killed 4 raiders. But he had taken a knife wound to his side. Blood soaked his shirt. He walked back to his unit. Yuna was standing in the doorway. When she saw the blood, her eyes went wide. "You are hurt," she said. "It was not bad," he lied. She ran to him. Her hands pressed against his wound. Her skin began to glow. A soft blue light. Tai-Ho felt warmth spreading through him. "What are you doing?" he asked. "My people can slow bleeding," she said. "It is not much, but it will help until the doctors come." They sat together on the floor. Yuna kept her hands on his wound. Her glow faded slowly as she used her energy. "Why do you help me?" she asked quietly. "I am nothing. My people are nothing. We have no power, no value. Why do you risk your life?" Tai-Ho looked at her. Her silver eyes were full of tears. "Everyone is something," he said. "Every life has value. That is what humans believe. That is why we fight." Yuna stared at him. A single tear ran down her blue cheek. "I thought humans were just soldiers," she said. "I thought you only knew how to kill." "We know how to protect too," Tai-Ho said. "Sometimes that is more important." The doctors came and took him away. But before he left, Yuna pressed something into his hand. A paper star, blue like the first one. "Come back," she whispered. Tai-Ho put the star in his pocket with the other one. He had 2 stars now. 2 small pieces of someone who was starting to matter to him. He did not know what that meant yet. But he knew he would find out. 2 months had passed since Tai-Ho arrived on Valora. His wounds had healed. His body was strong again. The doctors said he was ready to return to war. Tai-Ho sat on his bed and looked at the notice in his hands. Official orders. He was to report to the transport station in 10 days. The 7th Infantry Division needed him. The war was getting worse. The Dominion was pushing hard. Every soldier was needed. He had known this day would come. He was a soldier. War was his life. He had always accepted this. But now, things were different. He looked at the 2 paper stars on his small table. Blue stars. Gifts from Yuna, they meant something to him. She meant something to him. He did not know how to tell her. That evening, Yuna noticed something was wrong. She had learned to read him in these 2 months. She knew his silences. She knew when he was thinking hard about something. "What is it?" she asked. They were eating dinner together. This had become their habit. Sharing meals. Sharing space. It was not much. But it was more than either of them had expected. Tai-Ho put down his fork. He could not lie to her. "I have orders," he said. "I have to go back." In 10 days, Yuna went very still, her silver eyes fixed on his face. For a long moment she said nothing. "Back to the war," she said finally. "Yes." She stood up. She walked to the window. Her back was to him. He could not see her face. "I knew this would happen," she said. Her voice was flat, controlled. "You are a soldier. Soldiers fight. That is what they do." "Yuna, I am not angry," she said. "I have no right to be angry. You have a duty." "I understand duty. My duty was to protect the stories of my people. But I still understand." Tai-Ho stood up and walked toward her. He stopped a few feet away. He had learned her boundaries. "I tried to stay," he said. "I requested a transfer to the garrison here. They said no. They need soldiers at the front." Yuna turned around. Her eyes were bright, wet, but no tears fell. "You tried to stay?" she asked. "Yes. Why?" Tai-Ho did not have words for what he felt. He was not good with words. He was good with actions. He was good with fighting and protecting and fixing things. But words were hard. "'Cause I did not want to leave you alone," he said. Yuna looked at him. Something changed in her face. The careful control cracked. Just a little. "No one has ever tried to stay for me?" she whispered. They stood in silence. Outside, the sun was setting. Orange light filled the room. Yuna's blue skin glowed warm in that light. "I have 10 days," Taiho said. "I want to use them well. I want to teach you things. Things that will help you survive when I am gone." Yuna nodded slowly. "What things?" "Everything I know." In the next 10 days, Taiho taught her. He taught her which traitors could be trusted and which would cheat her. He taught her which streets were safe and which to avoid. He taught her how to spot trouble before it arrived. He taught her basic self-defense. Simple moves. Ways to break free if someone grabbed her. Ways to run. Ways to hide. "I cannot make you a fighter," he said, "but I can give you a chance." Yuna learned fast. She was smart. She remembered everything. Her body was not strong, but her mind was sharp. In return, she taught him about her culture. She taught him words in her language. Simple words at first, then more complex ones. "This word means home," she said. Ilara, Taiho repeated. "This word means friend, Sonara. This word means stay, Nima." Taiho looked at her. "Why are you teaching me these words?" Yuna smiled. It was a sad smile. "So you will remember them. When you are far away, when the war is loud, you will remember these words. And you will remember me." Taiho felt something tight in his chest. He did not have a name for it, but it hurt. On the 7th night, Yuna told him about the Festival of Twin Moons, the most important celebration on her world. Every year, when both moons were full, families would gather. They would sing all night. From sunset to sunrise, no one would sleep. "We believed that the songs connected us," Yuna said. "To each other, to the past, to everyone who had ever lived. As long as one voice remembered a song, the dead could hear it." "Do you still believe that?" Taiho asked. Yuna was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "I do not know. My world is gone. My family is gone. But sometimes when I sing, I feel like they are listening. Maybe that is just hope. Maybe hope is enough." Taiho thought about this. He had never been religious. He had never believed in life after death. But he understood the need to believe in something. "Do you still sing?" he asked. Yuna shook her head. "There is no one left to listen. Singing alone feels wrong, like talking to an empty room." "Sing for me," Taiho said. She looked at him, surprised. "You want to hear me sing?" "Yes," she hesitated. Then she began. Her voice was soft, high and clear. The melody was strange to human ears. It rose and fell in patterns Taiho had never heard before. But it was beautiful, painfully beautiful. She sang a lullaby. Her mother's lullaby, the same one she had shown him on the data crystal. But this was different. This was her voice. Her memory. Her pain. Halfway through the song, her voice broke. She stopped. Tears ran down her blue cheeks. Taiho did not speak. He did not touch her. He just sat beside her, present. "Listening," Yuna cried. Deep, silent sobs that shook her thin body. All the grief she had carried for 3 years came out. All the loss. All the loneliness. Taiho stayed with her until the crying stopped. Until she was quiet. Until she wiped her face and looked at him with red-rimmed silver eyes. "I am sorry," she said. "I did not mean to. Do not apologize," Taiho said. "You lost everything. You are allowed to cry." "Soldiers do not cry. I should be strong." "Being strong does not mean never crying," Taiho said. "It means surviving. It means going on even when it hurts. You have done that for 3 years. That is strength." Yuna looked at him. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then she said, "You are kind." "I did not think soldiers could be kind." "Some of us try," Taiho said. On the last night, Taiho did something he had not planned. He filed paperwork. Official paperwork. Forms that would take weeks to process. Forms that might not be approved. He requested refugee sponsorship for Yuna. If it was approved, she would be under Terran protection. She would have rights. Access to better housing. Medical care, safety. It was not much, but it was what he could give her. He did not tell her about the paperwork. He did not want to give her hope that might be broken. Instead, he packed his bag. He put on his uniform. He prepared to leave. Yuna stood at the door and watched him. "Promise me something," she said. Taeho looked at her. "What?" "Come back," she said. "That is all I ask. Do not die in this war. Come back." Taeho thought about all the soldiers he had known who made promises like that. Most of them had not kept those promises. War did not care about promises, but he looked at Yuna's silver eyes. He thought about the paper stars in his pocket. He thought about lullabies and burning worlds and a girl who had lost everything but still had hope. "I promise," he said. He did not know if he could keep that promise, but he would try. He would try harder than he had ever tried to survive, because now he had a reason. He walked out the door. He did not look back. He knew that if he looked back, he might not be able to leave. Behind him, Yuna watched until he disappeared. Then she went inside and closed the door. On the kitchen table, there was a small note. Taeho had left it. The note said, "I will listen whenever you sing, even far away. I will listen." Yuna held the note against her chest. She closed her eyes, and for the first time in 3 years, she believed that someone would come back. The Battle of Nexus Point was the worst battle of the war. Taeho had fought in many battles. He had seen death. He had seen horror, but nothing had prepared him for this. The Dominion had unleashed a new weapon, a biological weapon, a poison that spread through the air and killed anyone who was not Dominion. It did not kill fast. It killed slowly, painfully. Taeho watched his allies die. Soldiers from a dozen different species. Good soldiers. Brave soldiers. They fell to the ground. They screamed. They begged. And then they went silent. The humans were not affected. The weapon was designed to target specific species. Humans were not on that list. They did not know why. Maybe it was luck. Maybe it was something in human biology. It did not matter. What mattered was that humans were still standing while everyone else was dying. The coalition army broke. Soldiers from other species ran. They were not cowards. They were scared. They watched their friends die from the inside out. Anyone would run. But the humans did not run. Taeho's commander was a woman named Captain Jimin Song. She was small, quiet, but when she spoke, people listened. The Dominion commander broadcast a message to all coalition forces. His voice came through every communication device. "This is Commander Vex of the Dominion 3rd Fleet. Your alliance is finished. Your alien friends are dying. But you humans are different. You can survive. Lay down your weapons. Surrender. We will let you live. We will even let you keep your homeworld. Just abandon your allies. They are already dead." Captain Song listened to the message. Her face did not change. Then she picked up her communicator and replied, "This is Captain Song of the Terran 7th Infantry. I have a message for Commander Vex." She paused. Then she said, "We do not leave people behind. Not ever. If you want us to stop fighting, you will have to kill every last one of us, and that will cost you more than you want to pay." She turned off the communicator. She looked at her soldiers. Taeho was among them. "We have work to do," she said. "The enemy has prisoners. Our allies. Captured during the retreat, we are going to get them back." One soldier raised his hand. "Captain, that is suicide. The enemy position is heavily defended. We do not have enough troops." "I know," Captain Song said. "But those prisoners will be used for experiments. They will be tortured. They will die in cages. I will not allow that." She looked around at her soldiers. "I am not ordering you to come. This is voluntary. Anyone who wants to stay can stay. I will not think less of you." No one stayed. Taiho was not surprised. This was what humans did. They fought for each other. They fought for strangers. It was stupid. It was illogical. It was also the most human thing in the universe. The assault began at midnight. 53 Terran soldiers against a Dominion base with 300 defenders. The numbers were bad. The odds were worse. But the humans had something the Dominion did not understand. They did not fight like soldiers. They fought like family, protecting family. They took risks that no sane army would take. They threw themselves into danger without hesitation. Taiho led a squad through the eastern tunnels. His job was to reach the prison cells, while other squads created distractions. The tunnels were dark and filled with enemy soldiers. He killed 7 Dominion soldiers before they even knew he was there. His training was perfect. His reflexes were sharp, but more than that, he was fighting with purpose. Every time he thought about giving up, he thought about Yuna. He thought about her silver eyes. He thought about her lullabies. He thought about his promise. Come back. That is all I ask. He would not break that promise. The prison cells were deep underground. When Taiho reached them, he found 47 prisoners. They were in bad shape, wounded, starving. Some could barely walk. Among them were 5 Alari, the last survivors of a destroyed world. They had been captured for study. The Dominion wanted to understand why the Alari could heal with their touch. One of the Alari was an old woman. She looked at Taiho's uniform and something changed in her face. "You are human," she said. "You are Terran?" "Yes," Taiho said. "We are here to rescue you." "Can you walk?" The old woman grabbed his arm. Her grip was weak but urgent. "Wait," she said. "What is your name?" "Sergeant Taiho Park." The old woman's eyes went wide. "Park, Taiho Park." Taiho frowned. "You know me?" "I know of you," the woman said. "There is a young woman, Yuna. She spoke of you." She told other Alari. "She said there is a human who is kind. A human who can be trusted." She said your name. Taiho felt something twist in his chest. "You know Yuna. Is she okay? Is she safe?" The old woman shook her head. "I do not know. I was captured months ago. But before I was captured, I saw her. She gave me something. She said, if I ever found you, I should give it to you." She reached into her torn clothes and pulled out a small object, a data crystal, like the ones Yuna had showed him. "She said this contains her songs," the old woman said. "She said even if she is gone, someone should remember." Right. Taiho took the crystal. His hands were shaking. "Gone? What do you mean gone?" "I do not know," the woman said again. "But she wanted you to have this." In case, Taiho put the crystal in his pocket next to the paper stars. His heart was beating fast. Fear mixed with determination. He had to get out of here. He had to get back to Valora. He had to know if Yuna was okay, but first he had to save these people. "Can you walk?" he asked the prisoners. "We need to move now." Some could walk. Some had to be carried. The human soldiers divided the weight. They carried prisoners on their backs. They supported those who could limp. They left no one behind. The escape was not clean. Dominion soldiers caught them in the main corridor. A firefight broke out. Taiho took a bullet in his arm. He kept fighting. Captain Song took a hit to her leg. She kept commanding. 3 Terran soldiers died in the corridor. Their friends picked up their bodies and carried them too. They would not leave even the dead. By the time they reached the extraction point, the Dominion was in chaos. Other Terran forces had attacked from multiple directions. The distraction had worked, but the cost was high. Of the 53 soldiers who had started the mission, only 38 survived. Taiho sat in the medical bay of the transport ship. A doctor bandaged his arm. Around him, rescued prisoners were being treated. The old Alari woman was alive. She smiled at him with tired eyes. "Your people are strange," she said. "The Dominion commander called you the mad species. He said humans fight harder for strangers than most species fight for their own families." Taiho thought about that. "Maybe he is right," he said. "Maybe we are mad." No, the old woman said. You are not mad. You are kind. There is a difference. The ship carried them back to the main fleet. The battle was over. The Dominion had retreated. But the war was not finished. For the next 6 months, Taiho fought. Battle after battle. World after world. The Dominion was strong, but they were also cruel. And cruelty made enemies. Slowly, the tide turned. Rebellions started within Dominion territory. Enslaved species rose up. They had seen the humans fight. They had seen that resistance was possible. The Dominion began to collapse from the inside. During those 6 months, Taiho tried to contact Valora. He sent messages. He asked for news. But communication was difficult during war. He got no answers. He did not know if Yuna was alive. He did not know if she was safe. All he had was a data crystal full of songs and 2 paper stars in his pocket. He kept fighting. He kept surviving. He kept his promise. And then, 6 months after the Battle of Nexus Point, the war ended. The Dominion Collective surrendered. Their leaders were captured. Their fleets were destroyed. It was over. Taiho stood on the deck of a warship and watched the celebrations. Soldiers cheered. Allies embraced. Tears of relief flowed, but Taiho did not celebrate. He had only one thought in his mind. Valora Yuna home. He requested transport immediately. He had to know. Even if the news was bad. Even if the worst had happened. He had to know. The transport to Valora took 3 days. 3 days of fear. 3 days of hope. 3 days of not sleeping. When the ship finally landed, Taiho ran. The refugee district was different. Taiho walked through streets he remembered, but half of them were gone. Buildings were destroyed. Walls were burned. The Dominion raids had done terrible damage. His heart beat faster with every step. Fear mixed with hope. He did not know which one was stronger. Building 14 was rubble. Taiho stood at the edge of what used to be his home. 7 floors of concrete and steel, now a pile of broken stones. The window where Yuna used to stand and look at the city was gone. The kitchen where they shared meals was gone. Everything was gone. He climbed into the rubble. His hands bled as he moved stones. He did not care. He searched for anything. Any sign? He found the broken heating unit, the one he had fixed for her. He found shattered data crystals. The stories of her people destroyed forever. Then he found a paper star. Blue paper. Perfectly folded. Somehow it had survived under a beam. Protected by chance, Taiho picked it up. His hands were shaking. Blood from his cut stained the blue paper. He had 3 stars now. 3 small pieces of someone who might be gone forever. He sat in the rubble. The sun was setting. Orange light made the destruction look almost peaceful. Taiho did not feel peace. He felt empty. He had kept his promise. He had survived. He had come back. But what was the point if there was no one to come back to? A refugee worker found him sitting there an hour later. She was an older woman with tired eyes and a kind face. "Soldier," she said, "you cannot stay here. This area is not safe." Taiho looked up. There was a woman who lived here, Ilari. Her name was Yuna. Do you know what happened to her? The worker frowned. She checked a tablet she was carrying. Ilari female, Yuna, Unit 7, Building 14, as Taiho said. That is her. The worker was quiet for a moment. Then she said, the building was hit during a Dominion raid 6 months ago. There were many casualties. Taiho felt his heart stop. Casualties? Yes, the worker paused. But not everyone died. Some were pulled from the rubble. They were taken to medical facilities, hope small and fragile, but real. Where? Taiho asked. Where were they taken? The worker gave him an address, a medical tent on the other side of the district. It was for long-term patients. People who needed months to recover. Taiho ran. His body was tired. He had not slept in days. His wounded arm ached. His legs burned. But he ran faster than he had ever run before. The medical tent was large and white. Rows of beds filled the space. Patients lay still, connected to machines. The air smelled like medicine and sorrow. Taiho walked between the beds. He looked at every face. Human faces. Alien faces. None of them were Yuna. His hope began to fade. Maybe she was not here. Maybe she had been taken somewhere else. Maybe she was. Then he heard it. A voice. Soft. High. Clear. An Alari lullaby. Taiho followed the sound. Past rows of beds, past curtains, and medical equipment. To a small corner at the far end of the tent, Yuna sat on a bed by the window. Her back was to him. She was thinner than before. Her white hair was shorter. Bandages covered her arms. But she was singing. The same lullaby her mother had sung to her. The same song she had shared with him months ago. Taiho stopped. He could not move. He could not speak. He just listened. Yuna finished the song. She sat in silence for a moment. Then slowly, she turned around. Her silver eyes found his face. For a moment, she did not react, like she could not believe what she was seeing. Then she smiled. It was the first full smile he had ever seen from her. It lit up her whole face. It made her look young and alive and beautiful. "You came back," she said. Taiho walked toward her. His legs felt weak. His eyes were burning. "I promised," he said. She stood up. She was unsteady. Her injuries were not fully healed, but she walked toward him anyway. They met in the middle of the small space. For a moment, neither of them knew what to do. They had never touched beyond necessity. They had kept their distance. Then Yuna reached out and took his hand. Her blue fingers wrapped around his. "I thought you were dead," she whispered. "The war was so long. There was no news." "I thought you were dead." "Thought you were dead too," Taiho said. "The building. The rubble." I thought he could not finish. His voice broke. Yuna squeezed his hand. "I was buried for 2 days," she said. "Terran medics found me. They dug me out. They saved my life." Taiho thought about all the human soldiers who had fought and died in this war. All the people who had sacrificed themselves for strangers. And here was the result. One life saved. One person who would have died without human kindness. It was worth it. All of it. Every death. Every battle. Every sacrifice. If it meant that people like Yuna could live, it was worth it. "I have something for you," Taiho said. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the data crystal. "An old woman gave this to me. She said you wanted me to have it." In case Yuna looked at the crystal, her eyes filled with tears. "You found grandmother Suna. She was a prisoner. We rescued her. She survived." Yuna began to cry. Not sad tears. Happy tears. Relief and joy mixed together. "She was my mother's mentor," Yuna said. "I thought she was dead. Everyone was dead. But she is alive?" "She is alive," Taiho said. "She is safe. The war is over. The Dominion has fallen." Yuna looked at him. "The war is over." "Yes." She was silent for a long moment. Processing. Understanding. Then she asked, "What happens now?" Taiho had thought about this question for 6 months. During every battle, during every sleepless night, he had planned what he would say if he ever saw her again. "I am leaving the military," he said. "I am done fighting. I want to find a quiet place. A safe place. I want to build something instead of destroying things." Then he said, "I want you to come with me. If you want to." Yuna stared at him. Her silver eyes were wide. "You want me to come with you?" she asked. "Why?"